Think for a moment of something or someone you cherish deeply. Perhaps it's the quiet breathing of a child asleep in the next room, the reassuring weight of a beloved pet curled at your feet, or the comfortable silence shared with a lifelong friend. In that moment of profound connection, a moment of such exquisite presence, do you ever feel a subtle, almost imperceptible tremor? A flicker of vulnerability, a whisper of the understanding that all things, even the most precious, are subject to change, to impermanence, to eventual loss? It's a natural human experience, this delicate mix of deep love and the latent awareness of its fragility. And it's precisely at this juncture that the ancient philosophy of Stoicism offers us a remarkable path, a way to navigate the heart's deepest capacities without becoming a prisoner to its fears. Today, we're going to explore how to embrace love fully, deeply, without clinging, and without letting the inevitable ebb and flow of life harden our hearts. The video title is Love Deeply, Detach Freely, The Stoic Heart's Balance. The very word detachment can sound cold, almost unfeeling, doesn't it? It conjures images of aloofness, indifference, perhaps even a calculated distancing from the people and experiences that give our lives meaning. But this couldn't be further from the Stoic understanding. For a Stoic, detachment is not indifference. It is, paradoxically, a path to loving more fully, more authentically, and with greater resilience. It's about separating your well-being not from the presence of love, but from the outcome of that love, whether it lasts forever, whether it always goes your way, whether it guarantees your happiness. Imagine holding a handful of sand. If you clench your fist tightly, desperately trying to keep every grain, you'll find it slips through your fingers even faster, leaving you with little more than frustration. But if you hold your palm open, gently cupped, the sand rests there, undisturbed, for as long as it chooses to stay. It's freely given, freely received. This is the Stoic metaphor for attachment. When we cling, when we try to possess or control, we introduce anxiety, fear of loss, and a certain desperation that can subtly warp the very relationship we cherish. True Stoic love, then, isn't about building walls around our hearts. It's about expanding them, making them spacious enough to welcome joy and sorrow with equal grace, without trying to force either to stay or go. A Stoic loves fully. This isn't some abstract theory. It's profoundly practical and deeply felt. It means being completely present with the person you love, engaging with genuine attention, listening deeply to their words and their silences, offering support without expectation of an identical return, and celebrating their existence for the sheer unadulterated joy of it. It's a love born not of neediness or a void within oneself, but of an abundance, an overflowing of goodwill, respect, and profound appreciation for the unique individual standing before you. They cherish the moments shared, knowing each one is unique, fleeting, and precious. They see the other person as a separate, sovereign being, not an extension of themselves or a guarantee of their own happiness. This kind of love fosters true freedom within a relationship, allowing both individuals to flourish. But how does one love so fully, so completely, yet accept the inevitable truth of impermanence and potential loss without becoming cold, without withdrawing into a shell? This is where the ancient Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, often translated as the premeditation of evils or the contemplation of adversity, comes into play. It sounds grim, perhaps, even morbid, but it is far from it. It's not about dwelling on worst-case scenarios to invite misery or to lessen your enjoyment of the present. Instead, it's a calm, rational acknowledgement of reality. Everything external to us, including our loved ones, our possessions, our health, our status, all of it is ultimately impermanent and outside our absolute control. This isn't a pessimistic exercise. It's an exercise in profound freedom and gratitude. By gently, thoughtfully considering the possibility of loss, whether it's a loved one moving away, a relationship evolving, or even the ultimate separation of death, we prepare our minds and hearts not to be shattered by it, but to move through it with dignity, resilience, and an unwavering inner calm. It's about understanding that our deepest affections, our most profound connections, are gifts, ephemeral, precious gifts, not permanent possessions. A Stoic understands that life gives and life also takes away. To stubbornly resist this fundamental truth of existence is to invite endless suffering, to chain yourself to the impossible task of controlling the uncontrollable. To accept it, however, allows us to savor the gift profoundly, without the added, corrosive burden of fearing its inevitable departure. It transforms fear into appreciation. This brings us to a crucial distinction that lies at the heart of Stoic detachment: the difference between preferring something and needing it. A Stoic will certainly prefer their loved ones to be healthy, happy, and close by. They will actively work to foster strong, beautiful relationships, contributing wholeheartedly to their well-being. But they understand that their inner tranquility, their eudaimonia, or flourishing, their true happiness does not depend on these external conditions. Their happiness isn't a fragile edifice built on the constant presence or particular behavior of others, ready to collapse at the slightest tremor of change. Instead, it is rooted firmly in their own character, their own virtue, their own capacity to respond wisely and virtuously to whatever life brings, regardless of external circumstances. When we love from a place of preference rather than desperate need or anxious possession, our love becomes purer, less demanding, less burdened by expectation. It's a love that grants freedom both to the beloved and, crucially, to ourselves. It frees us from the suffocating grip of what if? What if they leave? What if they change? What if this ends? It liberates us to truly appreciate the now, the here, the them, as they are in this moment, without demanding a future that may never arrive. So, when loss inevitably arrives, as it does for all of us in countless forms, whether it's the sweet bitter farewell as a child leaves for college, the passing of a cherished pet, the natural ending of a friendship, or the profound grief of losing a loved one, how does the Stoic heart respond? It doesn't become hardened. It doesn't shut down, withdrawing into coldness or apathy. Instead, it grieves. But it grieves differently. It grieves without bitterness towards life itself, without resentment, and with self-pity that binds one to the past. There is ample space for sadness, for longing, for the natural human pain of absence. But because the Stoic has already acknowledged the impermanent nature of things, the pain, while real and deeply felt, does not become an all-consuming despair that shatters their very core. Their core was never dependent on what was lost. It rests within themselves. The heart remains open, capable of feeling deeply, capable of empathy, capable of connection. The love that was felt doesn't vanish. It transforms. It becomes a cherished memory, a lesson learned, and an indelible part of who they are and how they grew. The absence is felt profoundly, but it doesn't define them or prevent them from future connections. The well of compassion and love doesn't dry up. It continues to flow, ready to embrace new experiences, new relationships, new forms of beauty and connection, knowing that the capacity to love and connect is an internal, virtuous choice. To love deeply, yet detach freely, this is the delicate, powerful, and profoundly freeing balance of the Stoic heart. It's not about becoming an emotionless statue. It's about becoming a deeply feeling, fully alive human being who understands the nature of reality.
It's a profound practice that allows us to engage with life's most beautiful aspects, our connections with others, our passions, our joys, without becoming enslaved by fear of their eventual cessation. It's a path to remarkable resilience, to an abiding inner peace, and ultimately to a more expansive, generous, and truly authentic form of love. It invites us to cherish every moment with our whole being, to appreciate the fleeting nature of joy with heightened awareness, and to meet sorrow not with desperate resistance, but with a quiet strength and compassionate understanding. It's about living fully in the present, with an open heart, ready to embrace what is and release what must go, all without losing our warmth, our compassion, or our fundamental humanity. How does this idea resonate with you? Have you found ways to love deeply without clinging?